unveil untold women's challenges, opportunities, and empowerment in our society today.
Because it's not something she ever practiced.
Right. Yeah, no, I can see the conditioning, the upbringing, societal pressures and expectations. It is it's a different type of thing, to be a woman, in a male dominated field or just, in, entrepreneurship, as it is, it's a lot different. And, coming from our experiences and our upbringing and that whole bit, it's its own unique set of challenges. So, how do you work with women? Like, if a potential client were to come up to you, Peggy, I need help.
Right.
Kind of how does your process start?
The first thing I do is most of the women that I'm working with is they have actually quite great lives from the outside. We're very successful, and yet we may feel empty on the inside. And so part of it, and there may, like anything in life, many of us, we have areas of our life that are wonderful. We wouldn't want to make any changes. But then there's one or two areas that we keep saying, oh, I want to do this. I want to change this. I want to change this. And yet at the end of the year, you're like, oh my God, I didn't do that again. And then it goes back on the list for the new year. And then, and that starts then the shame spiral.
Right.
And the thing that I think is, in women in particular, one thing is there's studies that show, and you may have heard this statistic before, where a man will apply for a job if he has 50% of the qualifications that the job requires, where a woman, oftentimes, it will be 80 or greater. Mm-hmm. And also, not that many people in the C-suites and things like that, so they didn't have a lot of mentorship, and they're constantly being ignored.
Right.
Their ideas and things like that. And you and I talked about this. I started looking up last week what are some of the hidden figures in science and things like that. And the DNA molecule that everybody knows with the double helix. Well, there was a woman, her work, if she hadn't done her research, then nobody else would have gotten any further. Right. But we never hear about those things, right? Or somebody else steals their work to get published and things like that. And today I just saw something on social media where was a physician back in Dickens' time, and she was just so honored of everything to do it. But she was dressed up as a man. Mm-hmm. And then when she died, there was this big scandal because they didn't want to bury her. She wanted to be buried in this place of esteem, and then they saw that she was a woman, and they wouldn't do it.
Wow.
Yeah. So actually, women have been doing these miraculous things for many, many years, but they're being held down. And if I can, then that's the reason why the International Day of the Woman is so important, because in the United States, yes, we have gender differences, and we have where the women and girls do not have the same opportunities oftentimes. But in the rest of the world too, it's very endemic. And the three countries where it's the worst, where women are not safe, women and girls are not safe, or they're held back from education, or they're not. There's a lot of sexual violence against them. Yeah. Are Afghanistan, the Congo, and oh my gosh, what was the third one? I can't remember, but it will come back.
We'll add it to the comments.
Yes. I just read it earlier today, but and so sometimes we in the United States we might feel like we're distanced from it, but the importance of it is to remember that there are people even in our country that don't have the same opportunities that we do, that don't have the same safety that we do, and it really, really is. Here we have pay disparities, we have poverty disparities, we have healthcare disparities, and recently, there's reproductive right disparities that are happening, and I find that so hard to believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I started my career, back in the day, and the ad said looking for somebody who's good with numbers and good with people. And I showed up and it was an Amco transmission shop.